Hey y'all, it's Angel, and you probably think I look kind of weird right now because I never dress like this, and my hair's never this flat. I just filmed my Turning Myself Emo Again video, so I will put a little tag up there for you to watch it, because you should definitely watch it after this, because I worked really hard on that video, and I think it's pretty good. But today, we are going to be starting a series where I review albums from bands and musicians that, I've always liked, I've always had an interest in, and I chose to do my first one on Pierce the Veil. So I'm going to do every album that they've released, and then I'm going to do their two songs that are just like standalones that are on other albums, and I'm going to, after that, rank them all in order from which one was best to worst based upon the album's score, which I will not be putting in this video. I will be putting in my overall which album was best video, and I'm going to start with their very first album, which is Flair for the Dramatic. So here are the factors that go into this: the instrumental quality, the vocal quality, and the lyrical quality. For lyrical quality, you can get plus or minus 1 point for how understandable it is, for how clear the story is, how clear the message is, and then plus or minus 1 to 3 points for how complex the lyric work is. For instrumental quality, you can get plus or minus 1 point for either if it complements the vocals and if it has a pleasant sound, and for complexity you get plus or minus 1 to 3 points. For vocal quality, you can get plus or minus 1 point for whether it is understandable, complements the instrumentals, and has a pleasant sound, and then you can get plus or minus 1 to 3 points for how complex the vocals were. I have a guideline where essentially, at least for albums like this, there will be the 3 best, the 3 worst, 2 honorable mentions, 2 dishonorable mentions, and 1 that I call my forgettable. And then at the end of this video, I will tell you all of my actual favorite songs to listen to after not taking into account these. If I were to do this based upon the song I like the most, the song I put at the top would not be at the top, and some of these songs wouldn't be in here. I am going to start. The worst song on the album is called Currents Convulsive. I didn't like Currents Convulsive at all, and all my notes here, they got a lyrical point of 2.5, it was 0.25 understandable, 0.75 for the clear story, 0.5 for a clear message, and the complexity level was 1. I just didn't really like the song. I thought that the lyrical quality just wasn't very good overall. It got a vocal quality of 3.5 and an instrumental of 4. There really wasn't much for pleasant sound. The sound was not very good. I didn't like Vic's vocals on this track. I mean, he screamed a lot. That's cool, but there does come an extent where screaming just gets to be a little too much. I couldn't really understand what the story was of the song. It took me a while to really understand what it was about. I just didn't like it. This actually is my least favorite song off the album. This isn't even a guilty pleasure. It scored the lowest. It scored a 10 on my scale, and I have songs that go up to like 16, so it definitely scored the lowest, and that is why I had to put it at the bottom. The second worst song, is the Cheap Bouquet. Now, the Cheap Bouquet actually really isn't that bad of a song. I like this song. I scored it a 10.5, 3.25 for the lyrical quality, 4.25 for the vocal quality, and a 3 on the instrumental quality. It really just didn't have a very pleasant sound, to be honest. I really thought that what makes it so nice for me is, even though the sound isn't very pleasant, like in my guilty pleasure at least, I really like that they complement each other very well. But honestly, it didn't have a clear story, it wasn't very understandable. The message was clear. The message was very, very clear. And it was very complex, but the instrumentals and the vocals were really just disappointing. It was very bland. And then it got ruined by the fact that the sound wasn't extremely pleasant. Also, you couldn't understand what Vic said. He had marbles in his mouth throughout the whole song. Alright, and the third and least bad of the worst songs is I'd Rather Die Than Be Famous, which has a funky title to start with. I'd Rather Die Than Be Famous got a lyrical score of 3 with one of the lowest complexity levels for lyrics. It was like 0.75. I remember it was very, very literal and it was very blunt, but not in the good way. Like, there are blunt songs like the Water Parks song, Watch What Happens Next. It's very blunt, it's very basic, same with High Definition. It's very blunt, but it's put in a way that's pleasing to read and to listen to. So I think that was the big thing with this. It just wasn't pleasant to read or like pleasant to hear the lyrics. And you have a vocal quality score of 4, which is pretty okay, and then an instrumental quality score of 4 for a total of 11. I don't like this song, like even personally. There's something about it. I don't like the lyrics, and lyrics are a big thing for me. I have to like the lyrics of a song if I'm going to like the song. I didn't really like Vic's vocals. The vocals and the instrumentals always do complement each other. I will give it that. They constantly have them complementing each other, and that's great. But I didn't like the vocals. The complexity was like a 2, and for like vocal and instrument, and then the complexity was a 0.75 for lyrical. I just didn't like it personally. I really thought it just wasn't good. It wasn't the worst, but it wasn't good. Alright, my 2 dishonorable mentions actually came in a tie, but I did rank one above the other. So in number 8 was Drella. It had really good lyrics. It got a lyrical score of 5, a vocal score of 3.75, and an instrumental score of 2.75. I didn't like the way it sounded. It got an 11.5 overall, so did the next song I'm going to be talking about. And I didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. And the next song, I swear somebody is going to kill me for this, Chemical Kids and Mechanical Brides. It is my second dishonorable mention, but it's also a guilty pleasure of mine. I gave it a lyrical quality of 3.75, a vocal quality of 4.25 though. Vic sounded really good on this song. He really did, and I think what made me put it above was the fact that I was able to enjoy the song more than I was Drella. Like, I listened to Drella multiple times, and I just couldn't like it. It was the same thing with Currents Convulsive, and the same thing with I'd Rather Die Than Be Famous. I just couldn't like them, no matter how much I listened. And the way that I break a tie is, can I learn to love it? Or which do I love more? That's kind of a big thing. And I really do like Chemical Kids and Mechanical Brides more. I think Vic sounds better on it. I think the instrumentals are better on it. I don't think the lyrics are better. I think Drella's lyrics are actually better, but I do believe that everything, like, just sound-wise is better on Chemical Kids and Mechanical Brides. Now, the song that I call my forgettable pick, because it did not rank at all in the worst or the best, I actually really like, and it is The Balcony Scene. The Balcony Scene was just kind of, like, out of all the songs, it was just kind of bland. It scored a 12.5. It had a lyrical quality of 4, a vocal quality of 4.5, an instrumental quality of 4, complexities of, like, 2, 1, and 1.75. Compared to the rest of the songs, it didn't stand out to me as horrible, didn't stand out to me as great. It just was kind of like vanilla. Like, it's good, you like vanilla, but it's plain, so it's vanilla. Or butter toast, if I compared it to butter toast, or I eat margarine toast. It's just like, it's plain, but you like it because it's plain. If that makes any sense to you. Butter pasta is another one to compare it to. So next we're going to get to number 5. My lowest scoring honorable mention was Diamonds and Why Men Buy Them. Diamonds and Why Men Buy Them only scored 0.25 points above The Balcony Scene. It was 12.75. It got a lyrical score of 4, a vocal score of 4.75, and an instrumental score of 4. The complexity in this song, especially musically and vocally, and the compliments were amazing. The lyrics were gorgeous. It just told a really good story, and I liked the message. I thought that the message of the song was not extremely clear. Like, I'm gonna say I gave it a 0.5 on clear message, but I think once you got the message, it was okay. And that's what got it to an honorable rather than a dishon, a forgettable, or anything else. A lot of it was the message, like, clear, because if I listen to a song one time or I read the lyrics one time, because what I did when I did the lyrics was I just read them. I read them like I read poetry, and I just read the lyrics, and if I understood it the first time that I read it through, then it got a 1. If I understood it the second time, it got a 0.75, and the more times that I had to read it to understand, the lower the score got. It was the same thing with, like, listening for Vic's vocals. If I couldn't understand what he was saying, then the first time, the second time, or the third time, then I would just give his understandability very, very low. But I definitely thought that once you understood the message, it kind of made up for it. So I did have to give it a very low clear message score, but I made its complexity a little bit higher to make up for that. I think it deserves the spot it's at. I definitely do. Okay, the highest scoring honorable mention, which comes at number 4, is Falling Asleep on a Stranger, which I actually really like this song. I probably would have put it closer to the top, to be honest. I think it's a really good song. I didn't put it on my favorites because I do think it's a really good song. I don't know, it scored really high lyrically with a 5.25, a 5 on the vocals, and a 4 in the instrumentals. It had a 14.25 overall. I thought it was a really, really good song. It's not marked as one of my favorites, but I did really like it. I thought lyrically it was very beautiful, and it was just sweet, and I thought it was one of the cutest songs ever. I really like the song, and I think that they did a really good job with it. Alright, number 3, which is one of my favorite songs off this album, is She Sings in the Morning. Oh, my heart when I read the lyrics. The lyrics were beautiful. Vic's singing wasn't great, which is what got it so low. The vocal score was a 3.75, but it was a 6 on the lyrics and a 5 on the instrumental. The instrumentals and the lyrics are what made up for Vic's singing being like eh and not being great. I just love this song so much. I love the message, the lyrics, the way that it just is so beautiful and so understandable. It's gorgeous and it's flowery, but it's an understandable kind. And that is really, really hard to find in a song. And I definitely think that you should go give this song a listen. It is beautiful. I love it. Number 2, we have Wonderless. Wonderless is my favorite off the album. I'm going to say it now. Wonderless is my favorite if I'm not judging it fairly and I'm judging it by what I like. Wonderless is my favorite song. I think it is gorgeous. I think it's beautiful. Lyrically, I gave it a 5.5. I gave it a 5.5 vocally, and I gave it a 5 instrumentally, which rounded up to a 16. It was a beautiful song. I really think that it's just gorgeous, and the way that Vic emotes as he sings the song, and the way that you can just feel in your heart how he feels as he's singing. I just think that's one of the most gorgeous things about this song, and I think that's what makes this song so beautiful. And I don't know, there's a certain amount of relatability to the song, at least for me, that I love. Like, if I can relate to a song, it is going to be one of my favorites. It's just always going to be like that. I had to judge these songs very, very objectively, because if I had done it subjectively, this would be a whole different list, and I really wouldn't be able to justify very much of these songs other than I liked it, I didn't like it, I related to it, I didn't relate to it. It just would have been a mess, but I really, really love this song, and I think that if you are going to go listen to a song other than She Sings in the Morning, you need to listen to Wonderless, because Wonderless is beautiful. It is just gorgeous. Okay, you may have already narrowed it down, but the number 1 best song off this album, I think that a lot of people will like this because this was a pretty popular one, is Yeah Boy and Dollface. Yeah Boy and Dollface tells a really beautiful story, and I just think it was absolutely gorgeous, and it really wasn't that far above Wonderless. It was 0.25 points because that one got a 16 and this one got a 16.25. Instrumentals were beautiful. Like, it was a 5 on the instrumentals, a 6 on the vocals, a 5.25 on the lyrics. I just loved the story in Yeah Boy and Dollface. I loved the way that Vic told it through his voice, showed the emotions. You could hear the emotions in the instruments. It is definitely one of the most beautiful, and it is by far, if I'm to judge it objectively, the best song off the album. The most understandable, the most relatable to everybody, and just the most pleasant sounding. It's the nicest to listen to whenever you just want to listen to this album. I feel like the one that's really good to listen to is Yeah Boy and Dollface. Okay, and now for my guilty pleasures. The first guilty pleasure that I have on here, I'm just going to go in like order of how the album goes, is Chemical Kids and Mechanical Brides. I like Chemical Kids and Mechanical Brides. I think it's a really good song. I think it looks really cool. Honestly, I probably just like the music video. Number 2, Yeah Boy and Dollface. Again, love the song, love the story, love the music video, think it's great, one of my favorites off the album. Number 3, the Cheap Bouquet. It did rank very low, but I thought it was a really pretty song, and it was really sweet, and it was just a cute little love song, and I love cute little love songs. Number 4, She Sings in the Morning. Again, it's beautiful, I love it, and I just think it's gorgeous. I think it's a really beautiful song. The balcony scene. I love the balcony scene. I really, really like it. Again, it reminds me of vanilla, or butter toast, or buttered pasta. It's kind of plain, but you like it because it's plain. Number 5 is Diamonds and Why Men Buy Them. I just thought that was a really nice song. I thought the title was pretty cool. I liked the song. It was enjoyable to listen to, and it's one of the ones that if I have to choose songs off the album that I want to listen to, that I choose. And finally, number 6, Wonderless, my overall favorite off the album. I love this song so much. Again, I love the way Vic emotes. I love the story he tells. I think Vic does so well singing those sappy little love songs. I just think that there's something that he's really, really good at, and that he thrives in, and he does it a lot, and he needs to keep doing it because he is very, very talented in that area. Alright, that last list wasn't in any particular order at all. I just wanted to go over some of my guilty pleasures and my personal favorites throughout the album. You know, show y'all what I personally thought of the other songs, to show you the difference between what I personally thought and how I objectively judged everything. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. Comment below if you agreed with my rankings and why you agreed or why you disagreed, because I always love to hear that kind of stuff. I would also like for you to comment down below your personal favorite song off A Flair for the Dramatic. Also, please comment down below what kinds of other bands you are interested in me ranking albums for. I'm going to do all of the Pierce the Veil albums, and I'm probably going to do like All Time Low, Black Veil Brides, Water Parks, My Chemical Romance, because they're like getting back together, Fall Out Boy, and I'm going to compare pre-hiatus Fall Out Boy to post-hiatus Fall Out Boy, and that's gonna be a whole thing, and we're gonna have some fun. But comment down below if there's anybody that I am missing that you want me to do. I will do literally anyone. I don't discriminate musically. I will listen to everything from crunkcore to screamo to rap to pop. Literally, if somebody comments down below that they want me to do all the Ariana Grande albums, I will. I will do it for you. Or all the Meghan Trainor stuff. I'm not the Meghan Trainor's biggest fan. I just don't like the way she talks sometimes. I like things about her. But you could comment somebody that I hate, and I would review their music for you. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.